Well, we can have a chat now with a man who scored a couple of tries again at the weekend for Quins in that one and is in Steve Borthwick's England squad for the upcoming Six Nations. Cadan Murley joins us. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How are you guys?
We're very good, mate. Congratulations on the England squad, mate. You've been banging form. How happy are you with things? I mean, we always talk you up on here. You are in form. You look $1 million. But obviously the big carrot at the end of any kind of tunnel is an England place leading to the Six Nations. How happy are you and your family being back in?
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. It's good to have a few other Quins boys with me. But yeah, when I got the phone call last night after the game, yeah, it meant a lot to me to get in that Six Nations squad, and hopefully now push my first Test cap.
Was it based on that game, do you think, or not? I mean, because I know I was chatting to Billy Van der Pol, I spoke to a few of the lads and stuff. I know there's conversation. Steve is quite open chatting to you lads. You don't need to give us too much kind of insight. But did you get a gauge before that? I mean, you played really well against Racing at the weekend, the last game of the weekend. But did you have a gauge on anything or not?
No gauge really. We had that little screening day. What was that, a couple of weeks ago now? And just had a chat with him there on stuff I need to keep doing and stuff to improve on. But no real gauge apart from that until the phone call last night.
And the big news as well, there's been a load of big news. We don't need to go into the squad, but Nick Evans, we're massive fans of him. I was with the Barbarians with him a few years ago. Lovely bloke, top bloke, but a top level, a world-class coach. Has he spoke to you? I mean, he's going to have a huge influence, but has he spoke to you about anything particularly around attack?
No, not really to do with England. No, he didn't give any inklings away or anything, even though we were trying to give him a few nudges. But no, yeah, he's a brilliant coach, and his attacking mindset is something obviously us Quins boys absolutely love. We love playing heads up rugby and his whole speed over shape thing and all of that, which I hope will help improve England as well.
What speed over shape? What do you mean?
You have your structure. You have your structure that you play with in your game, but if your head's up and there's a mismatch or there's an overlap, it's sacking that off, getting your players on the ball that you want, and just playing heads up rugby basically.
Because watching your game against Racing, firstly, how good was it being undercover? Because it's been shocking weather conditions for you lads. But in that stadium, but on artificial, so a fast track, and then especially that kind of second half when you got through the gears and Marcus found his feet as well. Like that was heads up, right? That's heads up rugby.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was an absolute dream for a winger. We were literally saying it before. We were like, at least we know it's going to be dry this weekend, because the last few, like I said, have been horrible. But no, yeah, to have Smithy back as well. He was pulling strings. Yeah, it was a class game to play in, and that stadium is ridiculous.
Apart from the in-goal area, which is small, that's like the one thing which I found.
Yeah, it is
bizarre.
small, isn't it? Yeah,
crazy.
That heads up rugby, how do you train for that? Because it's, you can train for structure, to be in a structure, but how do you train for heads up rugby? Because I know Nick Evans has got some sort of quirky little things that he puts you guys through, hasn't he?
Yeah, we do this game called Bozo, which is basically there's 3 teams and you just kind of mix and mix out, and it's pretty much like a big game of touch where you're just looking for mismatches. All the forwards, all the backs are in. You're just looking for those mismatches on a full pitch, but only 9 or 10 of you. So you get more space as a back 3. You're always keeping your heads up, scanning, so looking where the opportunities are. And yeah, that's pretty much how we train it at Quins.
So all the big lads are just getting skinned, effectively, and made to look embarrassed.
Much, yeah.
That is like hell. That is like hell on earth.
It's perfect for a winger. Yeah.
So obviously off the back of that, how are the boys at the weekend? Obviously disappointing to lose the game at the death, but my God, it was some game. Do you ever talk about why do you give teams such a good lead? Because I'm watching it at home, and I'm thinking 21-3 down, they'll still probably win it because they're that good at comebacks. What is it about giving up a big lead and then nearly coming back, or most of the time coming back to win the game?
We honestly don't know. We don't want to give teams that big lead. We wish we could play like we're 21-0 down from the start. But it just seems to spark that belief and that will to play, I think. I don't really know why, because obviously we try and play from minute 1, but as soon as that happens, everything just seems to click a bit more. We have our focuses, and yeah, I honestly couldn't even tell you why, but yeah, it's an exciting thing to be part of because you're never down and out of a game.
Mate, Joe Marchant carving up. I sat with his dad at the game in Scotland last year, and we were talking about his best position or whatever. He's back in the squad now, but as we know, as it's kind of out there that he's off to Paris as well. Like, it's crazy how quickly it can turn around. Has anyone given him a bit of chat or not? The fact that he's in the England squad just for now, but he'll be in Stade Francais maybe next year, but they might change the rules, the laws around what players can be picked. Is there any chat around that? I know you're a young lad, so you might not be across all that, but is he getting a bit of stick that this could be the last chance saloon for him?
Well, yeah, I think he knows that. I think that's why yesterday when he got his phone call after it, the smile on his face, he was absolutely buzzing to be back involved and hopefully see him in that Test match squad again. But yeah, us boys at Quins, we've given him a bit of stick, obviously, for leaving us. But yeah, he's wherever he plays, whichever position and whoever he plays for, he's the kind of bloke who just plays with freedom. He doesn't worry about what people think. He's almost a bit away with the fairies sometimes, but I think that helps the way he plays. He'll throw anything and he'll try anything because that's just him. And on the weekend when he was throwing those seeds on a nice dry pitch, it was nice to be on the end of.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. I was chatting to him in November actually when Eddie didn't pick him. I had him for a pre-match Q&A at England, and he brought his missus Holly, and all I was asking about was what's Alan Shearer like. So does he get many questions about Shearer? Do you just chant Shearer to him or not?
What, is he going out with Shearer's daughter, is he? Alan Shearer?
Daughter, yeah, Holly, yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
How cool
Yeah,
is that?
legend.
He gets a bit of stick.
Does he say much about Big Al?
No, not really. He keeps his cards quite close to his chest. But I have seen one video of him playing golf with Alan Shearer, and safe to say March isn't the best golfer. And his first tee shot, he absolutely shanks it. The ball almost goes backwards. So quite embarrassing to play golf with Alan Shearer and be shanking him off the first tee box.
You just mentioned something there. You said a phone call. Like, do you get a phone call now? Again, this is like, I sound like a super fan. Has it changed now? How do you find out that you're in the England squad? Who told you?
Yeah, it was a phone call from Steve
Really?
last night.
Okay,
after the
old
game.
school.
Yeah, we're in the Gare du Nord. We were waiting for our Eurostar back home, and we all got the phone call. And funny, Jack Walker didn't have any data abroad, so we were all trying to hotspot him so he could get his phone call through and stuff like that. But yeah, no, Steve, he said he wanted to give everyone a ring to let them know if they were in or not. So that's how we found out.
Here's one for you, Cadan. The very first time I got called up for England, I found out on teletext. You don't even know what that is. You're too young. Like, how bad's that? Obviously, you've got some intel there with Nick Evans going in as a coach. Yeah, brilliant coach, brilliant bloke. I know him reasonably well off the field. He's such a good guy. Have you been getting stuck into him as well, saying, mate, am I in? Am I going to be playing? Or is he now at arm's length and he's an England coach and he won't be talking about that until you get in camp?
We didn't give him that much stick. When he first got announced, we all walked in singing the national anthem to our first backs unit meeting, just giving him a little bit of stick like that. But no, we didn't really try and push him too much to find out if we were in or not. We just let him go about his business, and yeah, we just hope that he would put in a good word. 25
grand a game, you don't question the coach, do you? You just say what.
How well do you know some of the other lads that are in there? So like Ollie Collins, like Max Malins, like these lads that you're going to be up against. Have you come through the system with these guys? And then the question that all the youngsters want to hear: who's the fastest and all that palaver?
Yeah, I actually went on the under-18 England tour to South Africa with Ollie. We shared a room out there. So yeah, I know him pretty well. He's a great bloke, and he's been absolutely carving it up at the moment. And Max, I spent a good bit of time with in the autumn because I had the link with Hugh Tizard, so it was me, Tiz, and Max. We were going around as a three quite a lot, which is nice to get to know him there. But yeah, they're good boys. Who's the quickest? I honestly couldn't tell you. Radwan is obviously
is he?
Yeah, different. Yeah, oh yeah, different gravy. Him, Reece Samet when I broke through against Gloucester and thought I had him, and then 3 steps later, I think he caught me up. So he's another one that's absolutely rapid. But yeah, I couldn't tell you between the rest of us.
And you talk about the coaches as well. Tabai Matson, every time I hear him interviewed, he sounds like a brilliant bloke and really honest and open in terms of his interviews. But he's been pretty honest and open about you. He calls you the complete package as a winger. Is that because the package is pretty complete, or is he actually talking about your game?
I think he's talking about my game.
I hope it was the other one.
Yeah, Tabai's been brilliant. Yeah, Tabai's been brilliant since he came in, and having those honest conversations with us all. Like you said, he's a great bloke on and off the pitch, and yeah, hopefully, yeah, we can keep enjoying under him and get some results back.
Last fanboy question from me. Right, because this is doing the round on TikTok as well.
We are fanboys.
Yeah, we are fanboys, look, we are, but we've got to service a few different crowds here, Cadan. You're part of the young crowd and carving up. Marcus Smith, right, what's he like in and around the team? Is he a superstar? Like, are people stopping him in the street? I know the whole Rock Nation and stuff that's going on, but like being the fly half and stuff like that, being 10 for England, what's his profile like? How does he handle it?
Yeah, he does love it, but he handles it so well. So, I mean, I lived with him for four and a bit years, so I know him pretty well. But he's just so driven. I've never known anyone not switch off from rugby that much. He's constantly looking at ways he can get better and he can help the team get better. His drive is just something else. The way he leads us, because again, he's only 23, but the way he leads us on the pitch, you can see it, like in the game against Racing, the way he played and the way he just leads us through his actions a lot of the time as well. I love playing with him, getting on the end of everything, all the magic he creates. So yeah, he's a cut above.
Does he have a crack, or is he like serious the whole time? Like, he's into FIFA, Call of Duty, or what?
Yeah, I whack him at FIFA quite a lot. So he's terrible at Call of Duty as well. So his video games are the one thing I'll always have over him. But yeah, he does have a crack as well. Enjoys a beer as well.
Good man. One of the things I want to ask about him, and obviously having lived with him for 4.5 years, I remember when we had this. We were fanboying Henry Slade a bit when he first came through and was, dominating at Exeter, and we got some of the Exeter Chiefs boys on, and we said, like, he's got to have something wrong with him. Henry Slade was good looking, silky player, like absolute baller, and they all came back with his breath's horrendous. Henry Slade had horrific breath. So you're looking at Marcus Smith now. He's got the world at his feet. He's a worldie of a player. Kicks his goals really well. He's obviously trains exceptionally well. Pumped about the game and leaves no stone unturned. Has he got any bad habits at all? Any traits? Yeah. Has he got a hairy back? Has he got a hairy back? Is something wrong with him?
No. The only thing I've got against him, he's got some minging feet. Like he's got some. His feet are always like horrible, like dead skin. But he does love a little like pedicure. So he tries to keep hold of them. But that's literally all I've got against him.
Mauler's toe. Yeah, he's one of them good. He's not myself. The only thing wrong with me, I've got Mauler's toe. That's it.
Pod. Rugby pod.